Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. What the hell is this film? Well, I'll tell you what it is. One of the best comedies of the year. I'm shocked to tell you this. Did not expect it. It's a Canadian film that feels like an improv show where in improv, you make up a lot of ridiculous things that are happening. And then in this, they're kind of like making it up, and it brought it to reality. It's about two best friends who want to, this is in the trailer. They want to parachute into the Sky Dome and then to promote their show at the Rivoli where they're going to perform. And the two leads are Matt Grayson and Matthew Miller. They made a movie previously called Blackberry, a biopic about the BlackBerry device that was, a huge hit and then died, which came from a Canadian company. And so the story begins where they're going to parachute into the Sky Dome and then promote their show.
Their movie, yeah. Promote their show.
Everything goes horribly wrong. And the way that this movie is shot, it's kind of part mockumentary narrative, but also like Jackass, meaning a lot of the people in the movie don't know they're in a movie, right? So like they're doing kind of hidden camera stuff in a liquor store where they're picking up some supplies.
They intentionally interact with normal people, unsuspecting people.
Yeah, and they're in the movie. So if you ever saw Bad Grandpa or other Jackass films where they do hidden camera stuff, it's like that partially, but there's a story that evolves where they inadvertently kind of just in a weird fever dream invent a time machine because of the movie Back to the Future that is fueled by the Orbitz drink from the 90s that they no longer make. Do you remember Orbitz, Alan? Barely remember Orbitz.
I've never had one, but I remember it.
I remember Orbitz, and I had Orbitz. It was like a soda pop drink with
with tapioca balls in them or something.
Yeah, it's like little tapioca balls floating. It was kind of a weird sort of trendy thing at the time.
It was before its time.
And they saved bottles of Orbitz. Well, somehow the Orbitz fuel the time machine that they built as like a goof, but it actually works. How do they know the time machine works? Well, the movie is set present day in 2025, and they go back to the year 2008, but they're unconvinced. They're walking around and they see a poster for Grand Theft Auto. Well, that's weird. They see a billboard for The Dark Knight. They go to a movie theater kind of like, we're not in 2008. This is kind of weird. They go to see the movie The Hangover that's playing at the movie theater. And there's a joke. What is the joke? Someone in the movie says, Dr. Faggot, paging Dr. Faggot, Dr. Faggot. And they look around the movie theater and everyone is laughing. And because everyone laughed at a joke about the word faggot, they're like, oh my God, we're in 2008. This film, I'm telling you, I don't want to tell you anything more than that. Suffice it to say, the stakes get raised. It goes to ridiculous levels. This time machine gets used in bizarre, sometimes selfish ways. For me to tell you anymore, I think would ruin the surprise. It's not only from the style that the film is shot, this kind of mockumentary, people don't know they're in the middle of it, the sci-fi aspects. Like I thought to myself as I'm watching this movie feels like a magic trick. Obviously there are effects in it, but how they were utilized, I have no idea. I love this movie. on my top 10 list for the year. We'll see where it ends up, but truly one of the best comedies of the year. Alan, what'd you think?
Yeah. The movie I would liken this to is Back to the Future Part 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it deals with time in a way that is semi-logical but hilarious. But look, is this the greatest comedy of the year? We'll see. It is one of the best comedies so far. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I was in a packed theater, and I think we more admired the movie than we're actually laughing at the movie. But you brought up the reason to see the movie. To me, all I was doing watching this movie was, how the hell did they do that?
Yeah.
How did it? Because they actually, you see them landing on the roof of the Sky Dome, jumping off a CN Tower.
It's
It's like you're
insane.
watching, going, wait a second, is that really happening?
Like,
and
yeah.
there are just these jump back and forth to 2008. I mean, look, these guys, all I can say is these guys have been planning this movie since 2008. and
Yeah, they started
and they
making
pulled it
this
off.
movie. They
Yeah, and
started making this movie in 2008.
yeah, and the greatest thing is they pulled it off. And then, there Back to the Future basically has one story where they go back in time to fix the mistakes they made back in the past. This one does more jumping than that, and does more time altering, which and it's all done in this just clever way. And I think for me, all the laughs came at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
because it just got really ridiculous by the end. And so I have great admiration for this movie. I think I'll say I'm not sure it's for everybody, but if you're like me and just want to have a good time and want to see movie magic happen before your eyes, this is the movie to see.
I mean,
Because I was absolutely fascinated with the movie once they jumped off the CN Tower.
I would almost say this is like a better version of Back to the Future 2
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
Back
Yeah.
to the Future 2. The way that it's so clever in how convoluted it gets. And
Yeah.
even I kept looking like, how did they do certain things?
Yeah.
They had to have started making the movie in 2008, and then they finished the movie more towards the present in
Yeah.
terms of like how they, otherwise this movie would cost $50 million.
Yeah. The best thing I can say about this movie is this time jumping gets so convoluted, but the story never gets away from them.
Yes.
They are
Yeah.
in full control of this story. In fact, there's, I'm like, when the final time jump happens, I'm like, oh, they could have told this part of the story so much easier than they did. But they made it intentionally complicated to show that, they've thought about this for a very long time. Look, I think the characters these two portray, Matt Johnson and Jay McCarroll, they have been planning this for a very long time. And they have been, I'm pretty sure, since 2008, all the conversations they've ever had in their lives was, what do we do with this story? What do we do with this story? Because by the end, you realize these two guys love making movies and love kind of this prank style of comedy.
And also there's a thing where they're being followed around by the cameras.
Yeah.
And the cameras change formats in different time periods.
Yeah.
And that's even part of the story.
They have to call it out. They're saying, people are gonna think your camera is weird. We need to.
And then they even call out the copyright issues they're gonna have for the movie.
We may have to cut this part out.
Yeah, but they say it in the movie. It's the biggest like jackass type hidden camera style prank ever done on an epic scale, where I'm like, I'm fearing for their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I know it's a movie. I'm sitting here going, holy, when they go to parachute into the Sky Dome, it's an insane, the audience like holding their breath.
I was like, what the hell?
They're going to die.
Oh, I got so acrophobic, or is it acrophobia? The fear of heights. Um, oh man, some of the, I mean, like I said, the one thing I was doing that through this entire movie is how did they accomplish this? The other thing, if you're an indie filmmaker who wants to make a movie like this, the way they hid their cameras to get shots in the public and get shots at CN Tower, especially through security, it's ingenious. You should watch how they capture the footage they capture, because you'll learn a lot from it.
There's so many layers to this. For me, I saw it with the packed crowd on Monday. It was the mystery movie.
Yeah.
And I think it blew everyone away. Big applause at the end. The audience I was with the movie. It's so fun. Like, I can't believe between this and have fun,
Good luck, have fun.
Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Like, two really amazing comedies. And this says like the one joke I kind of told you about in the movie gives you a sense of the tone. The only reason they know they're in 2008 is because people laugh at the word faggot being used in the movie. And you couldn't do that today. So you're but the audience you're seeing it with is laughing because the way the word faggot is used, it's the best use of the word faggot in a movie I've ever seen because of the way it's used. Ironically, that you can't say that, but they got away with saying it because the way it was done, it's so
yeah. That's how you get away with it. You go back in time to the time where that word was perfectly acceptable.
Yes, it was great. So cannot recommend this enough. For me, 10 out of
there's that COVID joke too. That was
there's a COVID joke. Like this movie, look, it's not sort of like, look, there's everything about this movie is we're making this to make you laugh. It's so ambitious. I really want to know more about the making of this film. Loved it.
I'm going to tell you, the people who are going to love this movie the most are youth indie filmmakers who have sat around with their friends on the couch and someone says, "Hey, we should make a movie."
Right.
And that's exactly what this movie is. It's that movie, but done to the extreme.
Let's go to comments from people here.
Sons of Shadowcast. Yes, both were voted for Pillion, Chris.
I'll go see it. As long as Alan goes to see it.
I'll see it as long as Chris goes and sees it.
Oh my God.
Tim is not funny. There's a gag 2/3 of the way that had me laughing on my way out of the theater and on the ride home and again the next day. It's silly goose humor in the best way. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you saw it. Tim is not funny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Techniques. You convinced me.
Yeah. Techniques. Come back next week. Any of our live streams. Tell us what you thought. Thank you.
ADL's 24. It's not for everybody, but it's made just for me. That's how I feel.
It's like, well, that's what I thought. Like, I actually recommended it to Paul Chato. I said, because he's Canadian and these guys are Canadian. It feels.
Did you ask him about it, by the way?
No, I didn't ask him. I just said, you got to see it.